Obviously, Freddie got big morale issues, but he's going to be leaving us in about, what, 4 or 5 days. Happy's got some... I mean, everybody else here I don't even really want. Like, Michael Cook, he's terrible. Murderous Mike is pretty bad. I really dislike Raoul. Lucas Hale, haven't even used him, but he's also pretty damn bad. I could maybe use him a little bit. I mean, he's not terrible. But he doesn't have any stamina. He doesn't really have much about him. I don't know. That's a weird one. I don't know what to do. That guy could just probably job, I guess. But even still, I don't think he even has the stats to job. He does. He's got very, very good selling. We found our jobber. Lucas Hale. There we go. Alright, Puerto Rican Power is going to destroy him. Let's advance. Actually, let's go to the end of the month. Before I do that, change my mind 3 times in a row. Check the size. We're up to 49 in the tri-state now. As you can see, we're still getting the spillover as well. So, I mean, the higher we get the tri-state, we try and get it to 59, the spillover is going to come with us. So, you know, maybe every 2 points we get in the tri-state, we might get 1 point in these other regions. And of course, I think in theory, New England might be the region we go for next, potentially. Yeah, probably will be New England, but there we go. Nemesis carrying Dave on his back. I have never heard a statement more true than that. He is literally carrying us by far. Without him, things would be much, much more difficult. Let's just say that. We would essentially be in pretty big trouble. Oh, we got Ben Benjamin following as well. Love hearing Ric Flair there. He kind of scared me a little bit. Yeah. The thing is, this is probably for you, SimClay, because you obviously subscribe to the channel with your Prime. I have my first emote ready. First subscriber emote. And it's literally the Ric Flair woo. And I forgot once again to actually upload it. I need to take a mental note. I need to write it down. Let me grab this pen here real quick. Literally going to write it down. Upload emote. Okay. Now, if I still don't remember by the next stream, feel free to roast me. But I've actually wrote it down now. I'm going to get the Ric Flair woos in the chat. This would be a cool little thing. You know, whenever someone follows the channel, we can just put some woos in the chat. I'll show you what I mean, actually. Let me go black screen here for a second. And I'll try and find what I mean. Alright, here we go. Found it. That's the that's gonna be the emote. Old school Ric Flair with a woo at the bottom. I feel like it looks pretty good. So we'll be able to spam those once I actually, you know, get my act together. And we or I get it uploaded. There we go. Alright. What have we got here? Regional battle once again finishing first, which is pretty cool to see. AMW with a financial warning. Whoa! Wait, what? How is that even possible? There's got to be something wrong with that. How are they 13.5 million in debt? I am so confused right now. I have absolutely no idea. I would like to sign Big Smack Scott, though. What is going on? How are they 13.5 million in debt? I have no idea. Should I save them? I kind of feel like it's the conversion, potentially, that's, you know, put them into this sort of scenario. Rich Money, though. I would love to sign Rich Money. Roger Dodger as well. Roger Cage. Good signings here. Didn't really think about. Interesting. He's on an exclusive written contract. There's a lot of weird stuff going on with the this database, because it's obviously I converted it from 2016. I think I'm going to try and save them. They kind of deserve to be saved. I kind of wonder how... No, I'm going to go in the editor and just change it. And just essentially, I don't know, I'll put them back to maybe $0 and see what happens. But man, that is something else. I was not expecting it to be 13.5. Yeah, I remember you saying, Terra King, I remember you saying something about a few of the companies. And then they all started upgrading all their production values. It was really weird. Really weird. Anyway, what I'll do, I think we already lost one of them at some stage. I think we lost one of them last episode. In the last live stream. Surzaloo, should I give them more, do you reckon? Maybe give them 100,000, see what happens? Let's do that. Let me give them 100,000. So who was it? It was... I don't even remember who it was now. AMW. Alright. AMW, where are they? It looks so ridiculous in here. Negative 13.5 million. Let's give them 100k. And just see what they can do, I guess. Wow. I probably should have saved that other company that went bankrupt. But I guess it doesn't really matter too much. And there we go. Freddy leaves us. Bye-bye, Freddy Datsun. Okay. Well, we find ourselves... We made 61,000 last month. So we essentially made more money. The shows cost a little bit more. Yeah, the shows cost a little bit more. Okay, well, I guess, I mean, let's run a... I mean, we're still gaining popularity, though, even on normal ticket pricing now. I'm assuming that is because of our broadcasting deal. We've got the small coverage, free-to-air, the tri-state. So I'm assuming that's actually helping our popularity a little bit more. Yeah, somebody went bankrupt. I can't remember who it was. It was... I think it was RPW. I think it was RPW. I can actually check, because I was going to sign Rolling Johnny Stones. So I'll just go and check who he was working for. But I think it was RPW. Ooh, Victoria Stone and Shaw Mcfly. They've split up. What ramifications does that have on the actual way the game would play out? Obviously, Lucy Stone McFly wouldn't be born, essentially. Am I right in saying that? I don't think Lucy Stone McFly would be born unless they get back together at some stage in the future. Huh, interesting. He's very good, though, Shaw McFly, at 23 years old. Yeah, as you can see, one of the greatest wrestlers on the planet. Oh, McFly wouldn't be pushed in Canada? So he works for SWF. There we go. Interesting. Alright, so let me quickly take a look and find out exactly which company that was. So Rolling Johnny Stones. Now on an exclusive written contract, which is very strange. Because I was about to sign him. It will create a paradox in the timeline and destroy the fabric of Canadian wrestling for a long time. Possibly. Yeah, possibly. Yeah, it was PDW, I think. Yeah, PDW. PDW went out of business. Pile Driver Wrestling. Would have been nice if I kind of looked at that in more detail, but Kind of happened right at the start of the stream, and I kind of breezed over it. So I was more just like looking for people that I wanted to potentially sign. Anyway, get into the next show. What are we doing? We've got Danger Zone. So I need to like sit up out of my chair. All right, a bit better. Go a generic venue. Yeah, Burning Hammer. Got Rolling Johnny Stones. He would have been good to pick up. I don't think he has any hardcore though, but I mean he might have been decent. Yeah, when I get to medium, I think I'll try and buy well I'll show you later. I'll show you after. But I think our main rival is XFW, I think. If I'm not mistaken. I think they're our main rival. So I think PPW or PPPW. I think they're also kind of in there as well. But yeah, I'll buy one of them, hopefully, in the future. Alright, Highway to the Danger Zone. What are we doing for this one? Let's go a non-title match. Let's go Happy Gilmore taking on NEMESIS, non-title. A nice little main event for us. Happy Gilmore featuring in a pretty good match, hopefully by the looks of it. Also make it regular, just because. And yeah, like I said, non-title. Non-title's good. They won't make it that far. Yeah, I mean they won't make it that far, but I can just go into the editor and essentially keep them alive until the point where we want to buy them. That'd be pretty. It's a bit gamey, but you know what? I mean, it's just nice for us to have a ready-made developmental company that is essentially, you know, the same sort of product as us, even maybe a bit more hardcore than we are. But they have ready-made titles and stuff like that, so it'd just be easier. Okay, so PPPW first. Okay, so I guess XWF would probably be... That would probably make the most sense for us to do then, seeing as they're like the least threatening. We would be maybe more inclined to actually, you know, buy their company out. Essentially save some of their workers and stuff like that. Alright, anyway, let's go Morpheus. Morpheus can take on... We need a face. Chris Caulfield, perfect. For his first title defense on TV. Give it 10 minutes. And of course, Morpheus going to pick up the victory, as we kind of expect. Likely to have a very long reign as the television champion. What else are we doing? We need a tag team match. Let's have the champions feature. Let's go the Peak Brothers. And they can take on Sharky George and Tim Westybrook. Decent little team for them to verse. Maybe a Wild Brawl? I think so, yeah. Go for a Wild Brawl. With Eddie getting the win there as well. Yeah, non-title. Okay. We'll then go a... Well, we need a Puerto Rican power match where he can kind of get a bit of his momentum back as well. Maybe Puerto Rican power versus Big Cat Brandon. Yeah, I mean, that'll do. That'll do. Might even go regular for this one. We need another regular match. Need to fix up the card a little bit, actually. That needs to go there. And then we... Ugh. It's weird having this as a regular match in the main event. But it kind of has to be because Happy Gilmore has really low hardcore. But it does kind of mess up the rest of the show to an extent. Yeah, alright. Guess we're going to need to put in 2 matches in order to get the best out of this show. So let's go Henry Lee taking on... Yeah, we'll go Lucas Hale. We'll get him on the show. He won't actually be squashed in this one, but he might be squashed in his next appearance. This one can be our Mayhem. Oh yeah, Lucas has got really bad stamina, man. So 6-minute matches for him. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. That is Wild Brawl, so we need another regular match in between those two. Well, in that case, let's go JD taking on Sammy, maybe. We've already done this match? We have. Okay. Well, I won't do it then. Let's change it up a little bit. Maybe Jake, because Jake isn't too hardcore, is he? No. Yeah, we'll go Jake Harvey instead then. And obviously, JD Morgan will get the victory over that one. Kind of makes sense a little bit more with the way the show's kind of running. So we'll put that one there, kind of splits them up. We'll go at an angle for Henry Lee. Kick off the show properly. Otherwise, we'll get a little penalty there for the show not being hot enough. We'll go a Puerto Rican power angle as well. Nemesis angle, and I guess we'll try and get a Morpheus angle in there as well. Always get a little bit worried with the old angles because they can always go bad. I need to make sure that we're advancing a storyline. I'm not sure if we are, although Morpheus, Chris Caulfield... I don't think... Well, actually, we technically are advancing a storyline because this storyline gets advanced every single time that Nemesis is in a match. Yeah. I guess we don't have to worry about it. Because Vibert is the commentator. So it kind of works itself out. Anyway, let's run the show. Alright, so we get a 50 rated angle to kick things off with Henry Lee. Hopefully, I mean, yeah, as you can see, got the crowd hotter and got the show off to a strong start. So I'm hoping the Mayhem match straight after this one will at least do well without a penalty. It did. Okay. Luckily we get a 31 here where we have Henry Lee defeating Lucas Hale in 551 by pinfall with an Asylum Buster. As you can see, Lucas Hale getting a lot of static from the vocal crowd, who weren't impressed seeing him, but he's going to be a jobber, so it's fine. I really don't care about it. Get a 40 in-ring there from Henry Lee as well. Stuff. Next match, we get a 40 rating where we have JD Morgan defeating Jake Harvey in 1019 by submission with a cross-Atlantic stretch. And again, the vocal crowd not happy seeing JD Morgan. But we move on to a 33 rated tag team match where we have the current tag team champions, the Peak Brothers, defeating Sharky George and Tim Westybrook in 1220, when Eddie Peak pinned Tim Westybrook with a peak of perfection. Not a bad match, but as you can see, Eddie Peak is starting to grow. I should have checked his popularity before this one to see how much he actually gained from that big victory over Freddie Datsun, but you can tell it's already made a little bit of a difference because he was getting under 30s before that match. Now he's getting over 30s with a 33. Okay, we then go into a 28 rated angle where we have Puerto Rican Power come out. And as you can see, he was terrible with no script to follow, and his dialogue was a mess. So, yeah, we're going to have to start scripting Puerto Rican Power. I might just go back to the 4-minute menace angles for him, because he's a big menacing dude, but I would have preferred for him for us to try and get his entertainment stats up a little bit. But it's just not working. And he's pretty terrible, as you can read right there. Anyway, we move into his match. Luckily, does a little bit better. We get a 37 out of this one, where we have Puerto Rican Power defeating Big Cat Brandon in 950 by pinfall with the San Juan Rush. Yeah, like I said, a little bit better. 34 in ring for Puerto Rican Power there. But he's still, I feel like his push is really slow, but I've been kind of pushing him pretty hard to a certain extent. Whereas Morpheus is sort of just more or less, you know, going straight to the top, really. Yeah, it's strange. All right, we then go into our first ever, you know, television title match defense, if you will. Get a 52, which is very good. Very good. This is what I'm talking about from Morpheus. And we do indeed have Morpheus defeating Chris Caulfield in 9:49 by pinfall with their Stampede. Morpheus making defense number 1 of the Dave television title. Yeah, I mean, that's a good match. 52 is real good, and a 55 in-ring as well. You know what? Chris Caulfield, Chrissy C, with a 39. That's not too bad. So hopefully that might be his psychology rubbing off a little bit as well. All right, we then go into an 86 rated Nemesis angle. Apparently the segment deserved better announcing, which I find a little bit strange considering we have Mitch Nace, who is a relatively good announcer as well. There we go. And the main event, we get a 73 rating. A 73, where we have Nemesis defeating Happy Gilmore in 13:24 by pinfall with a Nemesis arrow. 87 in ring from Nemesis, and he carried a 29 rated Angry Gilmore, or Happy Gilmore if you will, to a 73. Which I think is our 4th best ever match. I mean, if there's a GOAT on this series, it's without a doubt Nemesis. Wow. Just a sort of like a random, you know, lower mid-carder versus main event match, and this is what we get. Insane. Anyway, we finish the show. We get a 63 rated overall show rating. Literally, once again, Nemesis saving the day. I mean, okay, let's see what he can do with a broom. I mean, he could probably get a 70 out of a broom. Let's be real. Insane. Anyway, let's go Lucas Hale, because obviously we know he has bad morale issues. Who else? I think Happy Gilmore had some as well, didn't he? We left him off. He had minor morale issues. You know what? For the sake of doing it, let's go Tim Westybrook, because he actually performed pretty well in his match. I didn't really talk about it. But he had a decent rating as well. Clay, you just installed the new version of the database. How is it? Let me know once you start to get into it a bit more. I wanna know what it's like. Yeah, Michael. Just I think in the last maybe 2 days it came out, which is obviously perfect timing for me. You know, start a new series with the 97 mod from, you know, converted from 2016, and then a couple of days later, or a week later, the official 2020 mod comes out. Typical. But we're going to continue with this one for a little while, and then I might actually jump over the 2020 mod and maybe do a HGC series on the live stream as well. Could be pretty cool. I really like booking, because I actually did it in 2016 off camera. I had a HGC series as well. Save, I guess. All right, there we go. We're up to 50. It's that easy. The Nemesis effect. Up to 50 popularity in the tri-state. It is just that easy with Nemesis, man. Yeah, HGC. The 50 mil is just so enticing. You start a new sort of save or series. And yeah, I'll be doing that once we have a good little playthrough of Dave here, because I really wanted to play something different. Obviously, looking a hardcore company is pretty different to what I'm used to. So there we go. Okay, so yeah, I guess that's the reason why none of our workers are going to New York City. They've agreed not to sign our workers. So they have a negative opinion of us and a hostile attitude. They won't end any hostilities. Okay, whatever. I mean, they can't sign from us, but we can sign from them. Who is in HGC? I can show you right now. Where are we? H. They've got a pretty good roster, to be fair. Got Brian Vesey, 26 years old. BLZ Bub, who is a pretty decent up-and-comer, as you can see. Obviously, Tyson Bain, I believe is his name in 2020. Who else they got? They got Ricky Dale Johnson as well from TCW, but he's obviously still pretty young, still pretty green. Then you look at his entertainment stats. It wouldn't take him too long to get over. They got Demon Anger, Demon Spite. Of course, the Demons of Rage, really good tag team. Who else? They've got Grunt and Stink as well, another really good tag team. Got Jack Bruce at 24 years old. Absolutely immense talent. Again, wouldn't take very long to get him over either. Yeah, RDJ. I mean, they got RDJ, Jack Bruce, and if we go further down, there's more. Just wait, there's more. They got Java and who's Java's tag team partner? Java and Tribal Warrior. So they got Savage Fury. They got a lot of good tag teams. A lot of like good up and coming tag teams. Joel Bryant, of course, a very good talent as well. They got Kyle Rhodes, very good announcer as well. Larry Vesey, who is the current hardcore champion. We'd probably like to get him for our company, to be fair. Liberty as well. Liberty's pretty damn good, actually. So used to seeing him being really old. But he's really good. Could nearly be a figurehead, to be fair. But obviously very low popularity. And of course, as you can see, they essentially just signed him, really, because he's only got 50 popularity in the Mid-South. Of course, he's, I guess, from Texas. Yeah. Broke into the sport in Texas, obviously the Mid-South, as the outlaw, too. Whatever that means. Of course, they got Monty, luckily only on a handshake deal, but hopefully that's, well, hopefully not for us, but that's soon to become an exclusive written. They got the original Mr. Lucha, to show you how good he is. Much better than the Mr. Lucha 3, although Mr. Lucha 3 does get pretty good. Peter Valentine. Peter's actually quite terrible. Yeah, Peter's really bad. Why is he so bad? Oh, okay. So Pete, yeah, I guess that makes sense. So Peter Valentine is terrible, but he was signed in the contract negotiations of Sam Strong. That makes sense. Of course, they got Ripcord as well. I mean, it's Ripcord. As you can see, probably one of the most over men in the entire 97 C-verse. They got Robert Oxford, of course, the road agent in the 2020 mod for TCW. Man Mountain Cahill as well, of course, in the future going to New York City. So he's very old. And here he is, Mr. Sam Strong. Yeah, Valentine's whole shtick is really bad. Yeah, and he's essentially best mates with Sam Strong as well. And as you can see, Sam Strong, still at 51 years old, obviously the stamina is going to go down. He's a scumbag, but he's also really good. Really good entertainment skills, really good star quality. And of course, he's a babyface. He's the Hulk Hogan, essentially, of the 97 C-verse. As you can see, super over in the United States. And yeah, I think he has creative control in his contract as well. Yeah, he's to be used as an icon. Creative control is included. Hiring veto is also included. So essentially, if you hire somebody, he can veto to essentially stop that signing from happening, from coming into your company. That's ridiculous. Anyway, he also has a wage matching clause in his contract as well. So if you sign somebody that has, you know, more wages than he does per month, then he will automatically be matched to their same wage. Terrible stuff. Terrible stuff. Anyway, we could potentially get Stink. I didn't really think about that, but I think we can get both of them because they're only on they're only on handshake deals, although they do work for XFW. Could be a bit of a problem. Yeah. There we go. That's pretty much it. I mean, they have some wage matching. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. Yeah, they have some really good talent, and of course they've got $50 million when you start the game. So essentially, well, just look at that. They're already up to 63 million in the space of 10 months. So, I mean, think about what you can do. I mean, yeah, you've got Sam Strong as the figurehead, and of course the Booker as well. But obviously, if you start the game, I guess you would either start as the Booker, being Sam Strong, or you would start as J.K. Stallings, who's the owner. I think the thing with J.K. Stallings is he really reminds me of. He's, as you can see, only 17 years old. But he really reminds me of Tony Khan for some reason. Obviously, I guess the fact that, you know, he's a billionaire. Tony Khan's the son of a billionaire, essentially. 17-year-old who apparently has made billions in the software industry after inventing a program that answered emails automatically. And of course, using that money to fund HGC, which does eventually become TCW. So there we go. All right, let's get back to Dave. Let's advance. I need to take a sip of water after all that sort of explaining, but that's kind of the premise behind HGC. And I think, like I said, I'll definitely be doing HGC once I finish up on Dave, because I really want to. I said at the start of the stream when I gave Derek B his credit for making these databases. But I really want to, test it out and give his work the spotlight and the credit that it deserves by me doing a sort of longer term series. Be pretty cool. Yeah, I mean he's essentially the Hulk Hogan of WCW. So yeah, he essentially uses his creative control whenever he deems fit. If he doesn't want to lose a match, he'll refuse. I think pretty much the only person I think on the roster that can actually beat him is Ripcord, because Ripcord has about the same popularity. So they would kind of cancel each other out, I would assume. Maybe NEMESIS. I mean, I don't really know who was the champion to begin with, but there we go. Cheating Mike Barstow. Going to be going to HGC as well. As well as Adonis, who... Yeah, oh, interesting. Adonis wasn't going to be re-signed. That's a pretty good signing, actually. Really good star quality, really good charisma. Good basics, good brawling. I guess he's an egomaniac and a steroid user, but pretty popular, pretty good signing for HGC. I guess SWF, they probably don't really care about him, to be honest. Jason Jackson. I mean, he looks okay. Are they re-signing him? They aren't. Yeah, even worse than Hogan being the head booker of the company. Yeah, exactly. Okay, Clay, thank you. So Sam Strong starts as the HGC champ with Sam Keefe, the SWF world champ. Okay, so I guess, well, that's interesting. I might go back and have a look at that, but this guy looks really good. Jason Jackson. I kind of like him. He's not hardcore, but he's very good overall. He's also a babyface, which is what we're really looking for. I know he's 40 years old, but I mean the age isn't really going to play into things too much for at least a little while. All right, so we need a new referee. We need a new road agent as well. I kind of forgot about that. But we also upgraded our merchandise, so let's go back in once again and start upgrading to the next level. Get up to level 6. And yeah, the only worker that's actually selling any merchandise is, of course, NEMESIS. And yeah, he's not exactly selling heaps either. He's essentially taking 25% of it as well. Okay, what am I doing? I needed to sign a referee, and I probably should have signed one before the actual show. Alright, so it's at least 60, I think, in refereeing. Alright, we've got Chad Brent. I wonder if we can sign him, though. Oh, we can. Got Dwight Kumis as well. Got Eugene. Eugene's got 74. Eugene might be the option we go for. Francis Long with 90 refereeing. Okay. Matthew White with 82. Obviously, well, we probably could get Michael Will back, but I don't really want to. Ray Johnson with 78. I think we might go Ray Johnson then. Or at least try to. Yeah, Ryan Holland as well, 65. Shane Stones with 70. Let's go Ray Johnson. Yeah. We probably do need to pay him travel cover as well. But yeah, 100 per show. Bit of merchandise for himself, even though he's a referee. I never really understand that. Oh, what's the rival offer? Oh, what a waste of time. What a waste of time that was. I should have checked that. HGC going in for Ray Johnson there. With an exclusive written contract. Okay, never mind. Moving back to whoever else was decent. Matthew White, yeah, I mean, he's kind of in Canada a fair bit. I mean, Francis Long would be the decent option to go for. He only works for CGC. But I should probably check his schedule. So they're on Friday of week 3. They only run events. Oh, they only run events. When are our shows? That's probably what I should look at next. I should probably... Oh, there we go. Friday, week 1. That's okay. And then we're Mondays. So we're actually okay to sign that guy. Alright, there we go. Francis Long. Welcome to the company. 160 per week. Yeah, it's pretty bad, but you know what? For a referee with 90 refereeing, Francis is probably the best option. HGC have no champs. Do they not have any champions? Well, they do now. But yeah, I guess at the start they don't. Their world champion is Richie Pangrazio Jr. And then the Flames are their tag team champions. Very interesting. I guess they don't have any champions to begin the game. Because they are essentially like a new company per se. Interesting. So the first ever match was the worst ever title defense. And we had Richie defeating Charlie Homicide in a cage match. And then at the pay-per-view, Malice in Wonderland, of course, the TCW pay-per-views, if you will, he defeated Ripcord to retain the title. What is this guy's popularity? What? Why? Why would they do that? I guess they just got to big size, potentially. Wow. Must be Sam Strong's buddy. I mean, Must be something. I mean, he's obviously not beating Sam Strong, so very interesting. Anyway, let's book this show. Again, we'll do a little bit more meddling. Happy and William. Hey, there we go. Meddling success. Wonder if that puts us back over 100. No, wow. Why has that gotten so bad? That is, that's terrible. It was at 95 before. Now it's way down. Maybe because we lost. Yeah, that's what it was. I think it's because we probably lost Freddy, and Freddy's probably a positive influence. We might have even had friendships with people, I don't know. But that's probably the reason why that dropped so drastically. There we go. I guess we got it back up a little bit as well, which is nice. 3,000, nearly 3,700 people. Yeah, if Hogan was WCW Booker, Brutus Beefcake would have been world champ at one point. I mean, that's probably a safe bet. That's probably a safe bet. All right. Main event for the annual Wrestle Rave. We're going to do Sean Gonzalez taking on NEMESIS for our Extreme title. Needs to be a regular match, not a hardcore match. Otherwise, we will struggle, or shall I say, Sean will struggle. And we only have the one referee tonight, so maybe we do longer matches, or less matches and less angles, just to kind of offset the one referee scenario. (1994) Starcade was Hogan versus the Butcher. Man, that just sounds terrible on paper. Although it was 1994, so I guess you can't really expect too much. All right, what are we doing here? Let's finally have the Hardcore Blondes take on the Peak Brothers for the tag team titles. There we go. Let's give Doug the victory in this one. Why not? Give the younger brother a go. We'll make this our mayhem, I think, just because the Hardcore Blondes are pretty bad. They are pretty bad. Okay, well, what else? Doesn't surprise me. Dark times. I had to stop watching wrestling around that time. It's like these times, really. Well, prior to, I guess, AEW. But even some people don't even enjoy AEW, apparently. I enjoy it. I enjoy it for what it is. I feel like a lot of people, before AEW opened up, you know, they were really... And some people weren't even wrestling fans. They didn't even really, you know, keep up to date with what was going on. I assume it was probably a bit similar to that prior to the Monday Night Wars, like you say. All right, so Morpheus, he needs an opponent. Who is he going to verse? He is going to verse Sharky George. No, Tim Westybrook, because Tim was impressive. So Morpheus, obviously, continuing with the domination, shall we say. I guess that'll be our hardcore... Oops, wrong title. Television title on the line. We need that one below that one. And we need a regular match in between. Let's go with 6-man tag. We haven't really done 6-man. Yeah, actually, you know what? Michael, you're right. I kind of forgot about New Japan. The thing with New Japan is, like, I wouldn't really watch the tour shows. I would only watch the actual, you know, Dominions, Best of Super Juniors final, G1 final, you know, obviously Wrestle Kingdom as well, but I would only watch the really big events. I wouldn't watch any of the Road 2s or the build-up tour shows. So couldn't really say that I was heavily invested, but that was essentially all I was watching in the lead up to AEW becoming a thing. That was the only wrestling that I used to even watch was those big shows, which is pretty sad. Pretty sad because man, when I was younger, I mean, I used to run home from school to watch Raw in an afternoon. My school would finish at I think 3:20, and Raw would start at 3:30. So I used to literally run home to make sure that I saw the opening scene and everything. Luckily, I didn't live too far away from the school, so running wasn't that far. Yeah, man. Those. I mean, that was what the early 2000s, I guess, when I was in primary school. Didn't really catch too much of the Attitude Era. I mean, I saw it when I was real young because I was probably only about 6 or 7 at that time. In the late 90s. But yeah, I mean, I got about 2000, 2001, and then obviously kept watching all the way through to about 2000 and actually, I don't know. I don't know when I really stopped. But maybe it was 2010. Yeah, it would have been about 2010 probably. Trying to think. Yeah, I think about 2010 was probably when I stopped watching, WWE properly. So I definitely missed some good stuff. There was some good stuff in the WWE, like Summer of Punk and all that type of stuff. Obviously, the Shield as well was pretty interesting. I didn't really, pay too much attention to that stuff either. Anyway, let's finish booking here. Let's go Chris Caulfield. He can team up with Puerto Rican Power and Monty Walker. And they can take on the team of... Let's go the Wolverine. Let's go JD. And let's go for... Yeah, I guess Big Cat Brandon. Yeah, we'll just leave him in there. Why not? 12 minutes. Let's give the heel team the victory. I think the Wolverine can get the win. We'll make it tainted, I guess. And this needs to be a regular match as well, unfortunately. A lot of hardcore guys in here, pretty much. Everyone except for JD. But there we go. Yeah, I mean, that is super weird, Clay. Super weird. The fact that HGC starts off as small. But they're like super close to medium, aren't they? I think they're like only a few points away. And of course, they have a TV deal as well, don't they? Pretty sure they do. From what I can remember. Started with watching after the retirement of Edge. I remember I went to a WWE live show in Melbourne. Obviously, I live in Sydney. And the main event for that live show was a steel cage match between John Cena and Edge for the WWE title. I remember I had pretty bad seats. It was like a 13,000 seater arena, and like we weren't right at the back in like the nosebleeds, but we were in the sort of second tier area. And I remember I just walked halfway through the show. I just walked down to the bottom tier, and obviously there were security guards there. And I was probably like, I don't know, 12 or 13 at the time. And I just kind of said, "Oh, it's my birthday. It's my birthday." And the security guard actually let me go in and just sit in in some random seat that nobody was in, and let me watch the show from there. Yeah, essentially watch the main event. That was all that was kind of left of the show actually, and he let me watch it from there. Best thing you could imagine as a 13-year-old. Great, just a great experience. Anyway, let's actually I think that's enough matches. I know it's only 4. But with the whole referee, we don't have a wild brawl. No. Because that's that's hardcore. We need a hardcore match. That's mayhem. That's regular. We need a wild brawl. Okay. Gonna have to do one more match. Hopefully it doesn't mess up with the referee in that whole scenario. Wild Brawl. Let's go Sharky versus Larry Wood. There we go. They'll have a good Wild Brawl. Maybe we'll lower it. 8 minutes. Didn't actually make it the Wild Brawl, but there we go. And again, this is going to mess me up. It's because the main event is a regular match. It's kind of screwing with the whole dynamic of this show. Alright. I guess we're just going to have to go with that, to be honest. 4 points away? Yeah, I thought they were pretty close to getting up to medium size. So, obviously, it'll be very, very easy to get up there once I decide to start my my new series, once we finish with Dave here. But let's go for... We need Morpheus and, I guess, Tim Westybrook. I guess we can try and put him in the angle, I guess. I don't know. We'll try and put him in there. Yeah, it doesn't look like we're getting an overuse penalty. Yes, we are. Being used far too much. Lower that down to 8 minutes then. That should do the trick. There we go. Slightly being overused. Who have we got in this one? We've got Chris. Can Chris talk? Yes. He can talk pretty well. I guess we'll do a 3-person angle. Go with Chris, Puerto Rican Power, and Monty. But I think we'll script them because there's a lot of room for error in that angle. A lot of room for error. Let's not take the risk. There we go. And I guess we'll start off with the Peak brothers. Go Eddie Peak, and we'll have Doug. But Doug's not going to do any talking whatsoever. And of course, that'll advance the tag team title storyline. There we go. Okay, that looks pretty good. Alright, Michael, you got to go to a New Japan show at the beginning of the year with Lance Archer, Rock and Roll Express, Colt Cabana, Colt Banana, met Lance. You made the mistake of asking him about AEW before he signed there. There you go. I'm a big fan of Lance Archer. I really like him. I think if he's used correctly, he could easily be a decent world champion. I went to a New Japan show, I think in 2018 or maybe 2017. It was the first sort of Aussie tour they did in a long time, because the year after they did another Aussie tour, and that was when Will Ospreay versus Robbie Eagles. I didn't go to that show. I couldn't get tickets, and the only tickets that were available were like $250 tickets for the front row. And I was like, do I really want to spend $250? Not really. So I decided not to go to that one. It was such a small little arena, because the one that I actually went to was like a 4,000 seater sort of like mini arena, and then this other one was like a 800 person or 500 person sort of. It was like a university. What do you call it? Let's call it like a roundhouse, I guess, but I don't know. It just, yeah, it didn't seem worth it. And I think all the standard tickets, which were like just outside the front row, they were like 60 or 70 bucks. So I was like, I wanted to go pay 70 bucks, $70, I should say. Bucks is obviously Australian. Pay $70, and then obviously they sold out. And then I was going to pay $250 as opposed to 70. So yeah, it was unfortunate. Would have seen well, actually, I think the Will Ospreay versus Robbie Eagles title match was in Melbourne anyway, so I wouldn't have seen it, but it would have been good to still go. I think Carter and stuff were there. The one that I went to, I think I saw Kenny, the Young Bucks. Obviously, most of the Bullet Club, I think, was there. Didn't get to see Naito, which was unfortunate. I was very tempted to go and see Naito when he came to a Melbourne Championship Wrestling event last year. But then again, I didn't really feel like flying or driving to Melbourne, because that would have cost about... I mean, a flight to Melbourne from Sydney can sometimes cost you return about $500, so wasn't going to do that. Driving to Melbourne's like an 11-hour drive. I'm dedicated, but I'm not that dedicated. Especially, just for a weekend, per se. I was essentially going to drive down on the Friday/Saturday, sleep in my car, because I'm too stingy to buy a hotel or whatever. And then, essentially stay in Melbourne for Saturday night, watch the event, and then I would have had to drive home that next morning to essentially get there. Would have been a big ask. Just to see Naito, because everybody else on the card was just your bog standard. Say bog standard. You guys probably don't even know what bog standard. Bog standard is just your run of the mill, wrestlers that you would probably see every week if you're in Melbourne. Anyway, enough rambling. I've been talking about, real life stuff too much. Let's get back into TEW. All right, we kick off the show with a 45 rated angle from the Peak Brothers, although it is only Eddie Peak doing any talking here. And yeah, this time, I'm not even rating Doug on Menace. And as you can see, it's doing a lot better. Solid 45, though. Very solid. All right, moving on to their tag team title match. We get a 31, where we have the Peak Brothers defeating the Hardcore Blondes in 10:02, when Doug Peak finally getting himself a pinfall victory. In Roy Stevens with a House of Horrors. Pretty cool finisher name as well there from Doug. We have the Peak Brothers making defense number 2 of the Dave tag team titles. Yeah, I mean, that's good. That's pretty good. I mean, it's their second defense, so we'll take it. And again, the Hardcore Blondes, they're pretty bad. All right, we then go into a 25 rated match. Again, I knew this one was going to be bad because, as you can see, we had the two crazy matches in quick succession. But we also have negative chemistry between these two as well. There we go. We have Larry Wood defeating Sharky George in 7:44 by pinfall with a running big foot. Of course, that's essentially a running big boot, but for some reason, they like to call them big foots in this game for some reason. I have no idea why. There we go. And yeah, like I said, Larry, Sharky just don't seem to click, and it made for an awkward bout. Alright, we then go into a 38 rated 6-man tag angle, where we have Chris Caulfield, Puerto Rican Power, and Monty Walker. Probably just to, discussing a little bit of strategy. They are the face team. And I guess they're all from different aspects of the company. And Roy got destroyed again. Yes, he did. But yeah, they've never really tagged together, these three guys, so it'll be pretty interesting. Wonder if they can get on the same page. The match actually is pretty good. That's a solid 52. Very solid. We have the Wolverine, JD Morgan, and Big Cat Brandon fitting Chris Caulfield, Puerto Rican Power, and Monty Walker in 11:56, when the Wolverine pinned Chris Caulfield, illegally using the ropes for leverage. Yeah, good match. And again, the crowd not happy seeing JD. He'll probably come up for the rest of his career in the company, at least until HGC or SWF sign him. There we go. All right, we then go into a 71. Yes, 71 rated angle from Morpheus, the current television champion. The push continues. The rise of Morpheus is real. And yeah, he cuts his promo onto Tim Westybrook, who has essentially answered the call of the open challenge television title match that Morpheus is essentially incorporating into every single show. And there we go. Morpheus clearly enjoying having the freedom to go off script. And of course, he performed well. The match, again, we get some more negative chemistry. A 38 rating for this television title match, where we have Morpheus defeating Tim Westybrook in 8:19 by pinfall with this Stampede. We actually have Morpheus making defense number 2 of his Dave television title. As you can see, Morpheus and Westybrook just don't seem to click at all, and it showed in their performances. On the one show, we have 2 singles competition negative chemistries between 4 different workers. Lovely. But I guess, Morpheus, that's his second negative chemistry with somebody on our roster. Not good. Not good. Anyway, it's an okay match. It probably should have been better had this negative chemistry not been there. Alrighty, we go into the 92 rated angle from Nemesis. Again, at the announcing desk, Nace was pretty weak, apparently. So Mitch Nace is essentially the new Lee Bambino. And yeah, the segment deserved better announcing as well. And of course, Nemesis enjoying having the freedom to go off script as well. Happy days. And the main event, that's a great main event. That's our tied best ever match again. 79. Can't seem to break the 80, but I'm very, very happy with a 79 there as well. We do have Nemesis defeating Sean Gonzalez in 15:29 by pinfall with a Nemesis arrow. And of course, Nemesis making defense number 4 of the Dave Extreme title. And again, the vocal crowd not happy about seeing Gonzalez in there either. Yeah, 79 to finish the show, 91 rated angle. Overall show rating, again, matching our best ever show. And of course, it's got to be the 69. You love to see it. Anyway, increasing our popularity, I'm happy with that. Have no idea who I want to praise now, though. Yeah, no real idea. I know, 79 is huge, but it's all Nemesis, Michael. It's all Nemesis. All Nemesis, 100%. Like, the fact that he's a world champion for SWF right now and has actually gained more popularity since the start of the actual game is huge. Huge. I have to praise. I'm going to praise Morpheus again. I probably shouldn't, but I'm going to. Let's praise Wolverine as well. Wolverine's a really talented worker we've got. And we'll go Nemesis. We'll go for the sort of 3 best performers for this pay-per-view, I think, or for this event. He doesn't have an exclusive written contract with them because he hates the Eisen family. Or at least he hates one of them. I'll show you here. So personal info, hatred of Richard Eisen. Now Richard Eisen, well, let's just read it. We can read his bio here. As you can see, one of the best and most overheels in America. Fantastic brawling, intense promos, finest wrestling brains in the business. Had a close friendship with Phil Vibert, which is obviously my character that I play, the owner of Dave. So they were close friends. Obviously, Vibert used to work for SWF. And they shared similar philosophies on what wrestling could be. And as you can see, Richard Eisen doesn't agree. Led to some heated arguments between them in recent months. And then, of course, Dave recently starting to pick up a lot of momentum. Vibert announcing his takeover. And of course, there were rumors circulating that Nemesis was ready to go and work for Dave. And is he the booker? Is he the booker, Clay? He might be the booker. Yeah. As you can see, he's just waiting for Eisen to fire him, essentially, even though Eisen's just put the world title on him, but yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of gossip locker rooms, but it seems that Nemesis is on his way out of SWF regardless. So the thing is, he's likely just going to reject any contract that comes to him. Because I assume Richard Eisen is the... Yeah, Richard Eisen's the owner. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right, Michael. So, best friends, and I guess, like Clay said, I assume Nemesis was the head booker as well of Dave. But because I chose Phil Vibert to be my character as the owner, that kind of disappears. Anyway, 13,400. So we are getting a higher TV rating as well with more viewers, even though it's stuck at a 0.01. Very nice. All right. Let me check some popularity here. Morpheus. Up to a 47. That's why he's doing so well at the moment. We've got Puerto Rican Power up to a 26. Really wish we could get his 78 there in Puerto Rico. Would be quite nice. Wolverine's 43, so that's pretty good. But again, he's a heal, so I can't even really have him. I guess I could. Actually, you know what? Let's do Wolverine taking on NEMESIS next. That'd be pretty interesting. All right, what else have we got here? Oh, Francis Long. For some reason, I completely forgot about Francis Long coming in just then, even though I literally knew we needed a referee. There we go. We got probably one of the best referees in the game, actually. Which is a positive. Maybe we should look at road agents as well. Let me just reset that real quick. Let's go to road agent. I want to see if we can get a cheap one that's actually really good as well. Try like base 90s. 900, that'd be a little bit too high, I think. Alright, so there's only two of them. Got Jackson Andrews, who is extremely good. How much would he be? He would also be 600 per show. And then Chief Two Eagles, who is actually a little bit worse. And he already works for two companies. Let's have a look at this guy and check his schedule. So Saturdays, Wednesdays. I think we should be good. Saturdays and Wednesdays. We do run our events on Saturdays, though, don't we? No, we don't. Fridays and Mondays. Okay, never mind. We're getting that guy. Perfect. How expensive? All right, so let me have a look at him, and then I want to go to our own roster. How expensive is our current road agent? I mean, he's on 50 per show. Maybe we just stay with him, to be honest. I think we'll just stay with him, at least for a little while. We'll see what happens. Not a lot of good road agents though. I kind of saw that though. There's only two of them with 90 or above that are actually available. A little bit of a worry, potentially. Anyway, I think I'll just do one more show and then I'll jump off. It's getting pretty late, pretty early for me, I guess. Probably the best way of saying it. Currently 3:36 a.m. And I wanted to wake up fairly early tomorrow because I might actually do another live stream tomorrow, potentially at the sort of usual time that I've been doing these day streams. I wanted to at least do it around sort of 10 to 11 a.m. my time. I have no idea what time it would be in other places. Yeah, one more show. And that'll be over the 3-hour mark anyway. And yeah, I mean the YouTube viewers, make sure you drop a like on the stream there if you want to keep seeing some more of them. It does take YouTube about 4 or 5 days to finish processing these streams, especially the second stream was 4.5 hours. And that one's been processing for 4 days now. So I think the first one processed for about 4 days and then it finally finished processing. Yeah. This one though, the second stream doesn't seem to be coming out, so I'll have to wait and see how many more days it's going to take. Then obviously we've got to upload this one as well. All right, what do we got? We once again finished first out of 4. Got Maria Rivera. Not a great manager, to be fair. And Bubbles the Clown has been offered a contract by AMW. I gave them money, and now they're just going out and signing people. Don't really get it. Should I sign Big Smack Scott? He's got 31 popularity, 90 star quality. Though he is selfish, often in trouble, a drinker, heavy steroid user. There's a lot of negatives there. A lot of negatives. Yeah, Bubbles the Clown. He's pretty over. Although he's a color commentator, isn't he? Interesting. Why would they be signing him? Doesn't make a... Yeah, sounds like a perfect day. He's not a wrestler, he's retired. Alright, here we go. Last show of the stream. You guys want to recommend some matches? Let's hear from you guys. Let's recommend some matches in the chat. Got Monty Walker also being brought before Wrestlers Court, getting a small positive impact. I think let's do a rib on someone as well. Let's rib Mitch Nace, and we have no effect. Okay. 4,400 fans. We're actually at 51 popularity from the last show as well. Very nice. So we're only 8 points away from the popularity we need in Tri-State. Is Nemesis defending his title? If you want him to, he can. But he's not losing, so don't even try. Don't even try and make Nemesis lose. Because I'm going to use my creative control and veto that straight away. But yeah, I mean, you can choose his opponent if you want. Go ahead. Whatever you choose will probably be better than what I choose anyway. These are our faces that he can face. He can face a heel as well. Lose to Roy. Yeah, we'll have Roy dominate. Oh man, you're cheeky. Don't say stuff like that. I'll just release Roy. I'll release him out of the company. But who do you want him to verse? I mean, we could maybe go non-title. Have him verse maybe one of the younger guys or Sammy. Yeah, we can go Sammy. That's exactly what I was kind of thinking. But Sammy, he's a high flyer, so we're gonna have to make this a regular match. So he loses, but then wins? Yeah, nah. No way. There we go. We'll make it regular as well for this one. Kind of messes up the show, but you know what? It's okay. Good non-title match. Alright, what else? What else do we want on the show? Any tag team suggestions? I mean, if you want to see the teams, there they are. Haven't really seen Grunge in a while. But then again, I don't really like JJ Cole, so partly behind that sort of decision. Roy looks like he taps out Nemesis and then the time expired. Yeah, nah. Can't do that one. Can't do that one. No way. I mean, we can let's have a look at Roy, just for the sake of looking at him. He's pretty dreadful. Pretty dreadful. Peak Brothers versus Grunge. I mean, we haven't done it for a while. You know, a few months, at least 2 or 3 months. Do a rematch. Non-title or titles on the line? Probably non-title, because Grunge, they haven't really done anything since they lost the titles, and they lost a rematch as well. That was at the start of the stream. Maybe, actually, you know what? Not to steal your suggestion away, but it is quite good. But we'll do a non-title, and we'll actually, yeah, non-title, and we'll give Grunge the win. They can have another rematch. Although I might get the repetition penalty. You know what? We'll deal with that when it comes to it. So Monty is gonna beat Doug, and that'll allow them to get the title shot. I guess we'll go Mayhem for this one as well, just because it's likely to be pretty bad with Doug and JJ in there. Yeah, I mean, it allows the booking to another match at the actual pay-per-view, per se. Yeah, getting to earn a title shot. Because, like I said, they haven't really done anything, and I haven't even really used Grunge, so would be important. Anyway, singles match. Maybe Happy. We'll use Happy in something. Happy can get a win over somebody. Don't know who. Maybe Zeus. Have a bit of a CWC coalition feel about it. Angry Gilmore versus Zeus Maximilian. But of course, Happy versus Zeus. And this one can actually be our other regular match on the card as well. I like this one. And of course, Happy getting the win as well. That needs to go first. We need a Wild Brawl. Who's going to be in the Wild Brawl? Let's see. I mean, we probably need a match for Morpheus as well for his open challenge. Let's actually do that first. Let's go Morpheus. And he can take on maybe Jake. Did we do that already? I don't know if we did that already. Let's go Jake. I don't think we did it, because he's only got 2 defenses. Yeah, they've never versed each other. That's actually pretty good. I like that. And, you know, Jake, you know, he did get a few pinfall victories in tag team competition recently as well. So he might, you know, you could maybe kind of see why he would be in the running for this this television title match. Even though it's, you know, it's essentially an open challenge anyway. There we go. That's our hardcore match. We'll chuck that one back there towards the end of the show. Just need our Wild Brawl. But we're essentially going to need... I'm going to quickly book a Puerto Rican Power versus Lucas Hale squash match. Hopefully it's not going to be too bad, but Puerto Rican Power, 5 minutes. We don't want Lucas Hale to dominate. We want Puerto Rican Power. It'll be regular. Decisive. Yeah, I think Jake can actually speak. Well, so that'll potentially be pretty good. Yeah, that'll need to go there. Then we need the Wild Brawl in between. Who do we want for a Wild Brawl singles match? Out of whoever's left here. And we got Chris. Yeah, Chris is okay at brawling. I suppose we have Larry Wood. Larry's quite good at brawling. Let's go Larry and then a face. I mean, Westybrook kind of seems like the decent option there. What do we think about Westybrook versus Larry in a Wild Brawl? Because Westybrook's, he's got pretty good brawling. He's actually got better brawling than hardcore. I think we might have actually done this match, haven't we? No, we haven't. Not in singles. I like it. Let's go for it. Sharky, yeah. I was gonna do Sharky, but I think Larry and Sharky have already done it. Yeah. Dark Angel. Dark Angel would be a decent shout, but you're right, he is a heel. We might bring him in at some stage anyway, to be fair. There we go. There's a wild brawl. Need to make sure Francis Long is the referee for the main event as well. He is. Nice. Alright, that looks pretty good. So I'll just go angles for Nemesis. Go an angle for the Morpheus. And for, what's his name? Jake. Let's have both of them on entertainment, just because it will help Jake out a little bit more. And I guess it's literally going to be Jake challenging. And then, of course, Nemesis answering the challenge and accepting. No storylines advanced. Don't know why I went into that for. There we go. Let's go with a Puerto Rican Power Menace angle. I'm going back to Menace. I've essentially had enough of him, you know, trying to pull off the entertainment angles. Even scripted, he's not very good, so we'll leave him with Menace. And then finally, that's our Mayhem match. So we need to go another angle, I think. Actually, let's go an angle for Grunge. Go JJ and Monty to kick us off, and we'll go scripted on that as well. I'm pretty sure they're in a storyline together still in the tag team title storyline. There we go. That looks pretty good. I like that. Let's run the show. Of course, like I said, last one on the live stream. We start off with a 41 rated angle for the tag team of Grunge, JJ Coles, Monty Walker. Actually doing pretty well. 41. It's all Monty, really, because he has the popularity and the better entertainment skills as well. But I'm happy with a 41, to be honest, to kick off the show. As you can see, got the crowd hotter. And, of course, we need that going into the Mayhem match. Pretty annoying. But we get a 33. We have Grunge defeating the Peak Brothers in 9:57 when Monty Walker pinned Doug Peak. But as you can see, Monty Walker sustaining a boxer's fracture. So he's likely injured now, and potentially we're not going to be able to do the tag team title match on the next live stream. So unfortunate. Have to do a bit of rebooking. Maybe we'll have a handicap match where JJ versus the Peak Brothers and gets absolutely destroyed. Could be a good way of going about it. But yeah, this time Eddie Peak seemed off his game. Yeah, interesting. Assuming it might have been a botch by somebody, by either Doug or Eddie. Anyway, going to a 37 rated match. Pretty good considering both these guys, you know, are essentially insignificant. They're both like lower mid-carders or even openers, really. I don't think Zeus has done anything, so yeah, we have Happy Gilmore defeating Zeus Maximilian in 10:06 by pinfall with an anger management. Pretty funny that his finisher is still the anger management, and his name is Happy Gilmore. Like a bit of a play into itself. You know, he might be deemed Happy Gilmore, but deep down he is still Angry Gilmore. Quite funny. Anyway, we move into a 38 rated match where we have Larry Wood defeating Tim Westybrook in 10:06 by pinfall with a big running foot again. Really hate the way that sounds. Really hate the way that sounds. Anyway, 38's pretty good for them too as well. Obviously higher than their in-ring performances. We then go into a 34 rated Menace angle from Puerto Rican Power. Again, it's about what he was getting for his entertainment angles. And it's kind of guaranteed to get a 34. So I think we'll just keep it. Keep it there from now on. Yeah, I knew this one was going to be bad. I knew this one was going to be real bad. We get a 13 for the squash match. We have Puerto Rican Power defeating Lucas Hale in 5:03 by pinfall with a San Juan rush. Terrible, but you know what? We expected it to be terrible. And Lucas Hale obviously getting a lot of static from the vocal crowd. And of course, just the fact that it was a squash is if you look at the penalties, we got negative crowd reaction, experienced, poor psychology, inconsistency, and low morale. Wow. Okay. Pretty bad. Anyway, we move on to a 50 rated angle where we have Jake Harvey come out and challenge Morpheus to the television title match. Of course, the sort of open challenge. He is the one to step up this week, and Morpheus accepts. As you can see, he was very poor when trying to improvise dialogue, but at least Morpheus, worked the crowd well. 50 is pretty good for Jake Harvey. The match itself also getting a 50. So Morpheus can carry people now. He can really carry people. Which is actually, it's impressive. I mean, he was 47 popularity going into this show as well. And we have Morpheus defeating Jake Harvey in 9:31 by pinfall with the Stampede. We have Morpheus making defense number 3 of the Dave television title. Have a new gimmick called the Broom. Yeah. I mean, I wish Puerto Rican Power had that same gimmick where he can carry people. Because, his 13 squash match, pretty dreadful. You would expect this to sort of be a bit of a squash match, but, I mean, a 50 out of it's really good. Alrighty, we then go into an 89 rated Nemesis angle. Yeah, it's great. Great stuff. What more can I expect from Nemesis? It's pretty much I keep saying bog standard. It is pretty much a standard from Nemesis at this point. I have to remember that I'm Australian, and all you guys aren't Australian. So I need to chill with my Australian slang and metaphors and whatever. Anyway, the main event actually not doing that well. Not doing that well. Again, they have negative chemistry, so it's understandable, but a 59 for Nemesis is kind of a bit of a shock. It's a bit of a shock, to be honest. That's a shock. And we have Nemesis defeating Sammy back in 12:57 by pinfall with a Nemesis arrow. But yeah, Nemesis, Sammy back just don't seem to click, and it showed in their performance. Nemesis also has a gimmick that is getting stale as well. I need to change him and Roy. They both have stale gimmicks as well. I might even change Puerto Rican Power because it might have been enough time. He had a poor gimmick. Might be why he's sort of struggling so much. Anyway, 59, not a great way to end the show. But we still get a 56 and we still increase in one region in the tri-state. Yeah, the negative chemistry absolutely just butchered that match for the main event. But what can you do? What can you do? Yeah, we'll tweak him. We'll tweak Roy as well. And then I think I might just give Puerto Rican Power a completely new gimmick. If we can do that. If enough time has elapsed. But let's go to Lucas Hale as well. We'll praise him. Actually, we'll give him some encouragement because boy was he dreadful. And then I guess we need to go Monty because he picked up the injury as well. Hopefully he's not going to be out for too long. We'll have to wait and see on that one. But 12,798 viewers. Not terrible. Alright, let's have a look. Medical. Alright, well, we can do surgery for his boxer's fracture, but it's 42 days now. It's also low-risk surgery, so... Okay, we did it. Surgical success. And he'll be in action much sooner. 10 days, there we go. That is perfect. I guess it wasn't a botch. Let's have a look at Monty real quick. Yeah, he's got no simmering tension with anybody, so it might have just been a freak accident, I guess. Which I'm fine with. Although what I'm not fine with is the fact that he's picked up 2 injuries in the space of a year. And his resilience is 30. That's bad. Very bad. He's going to pick up a lot of injuries by the looks of it. Okay. Anyway, he's yeah, Nemesis is up to 80 popularity now in the tri-state. Morpheus and still, unfortunately, still at 47. That's okay. Okay. Anything else? All right. Let's do the gimmicks before I finish the stream here, guys. We'll tweak this one. Actually, we can't tweak it. Oh, okay. Never mind. We can't tweak the gimmicks for some reason. I guess. Yeah, not all botches cause beef. I don't think it was a botch though. I don't, because usually it would come up with, you know, so and so botched the move in the actual road agent note after the match. You know, after you continue with the match, so it might have just been a like a freak injury. You know, maybe it's a boxer's fracture. Is that's a hand injury, isn't it? Like a where you break your knuckles and your hand and stuff. So it might have just been him punching one of the Peak brothers in the head and cracking his own hand. That's the way I could see it. Anyway. Alright, we got Swagger or Offbeat Unstable. Kind of like Swagger. Let's get some inspiration. Swagger, face, he's a heel. I mean, either Arrogant Heel or Chosen One. Let's go Chosen One. Chosen One fits perfectly, actually. A character who gets special treatment as a favorite of the boss. And of course, the boss, Phil Vibert, they're best friends. Makes a lot of sense. So there we go. Chosen One gimmick for Nemesis. He is far and above the Chosen One, without a doubt. And then we also need to... I want to do... Well, we have to do Roy. Let's do Roy here. And Roy can do... We can't do Comedy, Offbeat, or Weasley. Okay. Let's do a... I don't know. What do we go with? Badass? Standard? We'll go standard. Let's see what standard gimmicks there are. I guess we could go blue collar. Yeah, we'll go blue collar for Roy. Might even go a little bit safer with it as well. Just because it's Roy. Badass. I mean, he would be a badass if he managed to beat Nemesis, but that ain't ever gonna happen. Maybe when we end the series, I'll have Roy go over and become world champion. How about that? Sounds pretty good. Let's hopefully change this gimmick as well. Okay, it looks like we can change it. So let's see what we can do here. Plays dominant, swagger, badass, legitimate. I think I'll go dominant. I think I want him to have a dominant gimmick, Puerto Rican power. So let's get some more inspiration. Dominant, face, yes. What have we got? We got. I mean, these are all from the actual 2016 database. I think all these weird sort of gimmicks here. What I might do is actually choose one of these and then just do it myself. Yeah, I think we'll just go machine. Go a dominant machine gimmick. And we'll let him be a little bit creative. Hopefully it doesn't sort of backfire. There we go. Alright. Well, that'll be good for next episode anyway. The next live stream. Alright, well that is going to be it for me, guys. Thank you everybody in the chat. I want to say thank you. The Puerto Rican machine. Yeah, I mean that sounds pretty good. But that is gonna do it for tonight. Need to go to bed. It's 4 AM. And of course, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you smash a like on the video if you want to see more streams. And again, make sure you head over to the Twitch channel and give it a follow. Hopefully you'll be notified when I actually go live. Of course, always do a little community post when I'm, starting the live stream or essentially a little bit before I start the live streams. So make sure you look out for those if you want to catch the streams in real time. Of course, like I said, the YouTube processing takes a few days. So you want to watch it, you want to be there live and experience us playing, where you can, of course, interact. Did a little bit of booking with Michael and SimClay. And yeah, having a lot of fun. I'm having a lot of fun playing this, and I can't wait. I can't actually wait for this series to be over, and we go to HGC with the 2020 database as well. That'll be sick. Anyways, apart from that, guys, as always, take it easy, and goodbye.